Joho Leute und herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge Airis oder wie auch immer man das Spiel ausspricht. Jo, wir waren gerade dabei, Lyol zu bequatschen, ob wir nicht doch ein paar Leute fragen sollen, ob die mehr darüber wissen, was mit uns passiert oder ob denen das auch passiert ist oder so. Jo, und ich glaube, das ist gerade unser Argument oder so. Lyol, even if there's no one else suffering from the same blackouts, which I highly doubt is the case anyway, don't you think we have a duty to warn the others? We are sworn to protect the country and protect the people of Airis. If this is a new sort of sickness, we cannot keep this to ourselves. Lyell still doesn't speak, but their face betrays a desire to speak. To disagree with me further, perhaps. Eventually, Lyell exhales loudly and spreads their hands in front of them with a shrug. Well, I don't really have a choice. I can't stop you anyway. You'd never budge as soon as it involves protecting other people. Relieved that I don't have to argue with my best friend anymore, I flash Lyell an imperious grin. Okay, also sie sind tatsächlich beste Freunde. Habe ich das doch richtig erraten, weil das nicht irgendwie ständig angedeutet wurde und so. So, ja, wir kennen uns ja schon so lange. Aber gut, ja, das Rätsel wäre schon mal gelöst. Way. I just take my job seriously. Instead of cracking a rueful smile like I expected them to, Lyell only shrugs and sighs yet again. This time I'm certain that Lyell is avoiding my eyes on purpose. Disconcerted by Lyell's strange demeanor, I turn away and stretch my arms above my head, realizing that some of my earlier fatigue has faded during our conversation. Still looking away from them, I tip my head in the direction of the guild hall. So, shall we go to the guild hall? There's no time like the present, right? Right. If you want to. Pretending not to notice the lack of enthusiasm in their distracted answer, I give them a warm smile. You coming? No, I'm afraid not. I have somewhere I need to be. An urgent matter. I raise an eyebrow, crossing my arms in front of my chest. Oh, you didn't mention that when you stopped me in the middle of the street to talk. Yes, I suddenly remembered I have a prior engagement. I'm going to be late, so I must run. I'll see you tomorrow, Aliya. Still not meeting my eyes, Lyell bobs their head in a quick farewell and rushes off, their strides long and hurried. I can only stare after Lyell's retracting back, feeling a deep unease. Is Lyell hiding something from me? If so, what could it possibly be? Unser bester Freund hat Geheimnisse vor uns. You've really never heard of someone experiencing that? Well, not unless they've consumed too much alcohol. No. Are you sure? Can you think harder? You know of everything that happens in the guild. You've never overheard anyone complaining about a hole in their memory or waking up in strange places they don't remember going to? I realize that my voice has continuously risen in volume as my anxiety grows, and I immediately duck my head, lowering my tone to a whisper. But it's too late. I can feel someone staring at my back, and a quick glance behind me confirms my suspicions. There's a vaguely familiar man, hovering near the crest board in the hall. His spectacles glinting in the flickering light of a nearby lamp as he tilts his head in my direction. I really haven't heard anything about that. Why, is it important? Mindful of the stranger's burning gaze on me still, I force a casual smile. Thought it would probably comes out more like a grimace. Not particularly. No. Man. Are you alright, Aliya? Why are you suddenly asking odd things like that? Have you finally lost your mind to a fatigue from our constant training? See, I warned you about that. It doesn't matter how much you train, you've never beat me anyway. Airis flashes me an impish smile and I return a smile weakly. No, nothing. No reason. Don't worry about it. Listen, if anyone asks, can you pretend this conversation never happened? Airis' brow furrows in confusion, but she agrees readily with a small nod. Of course, but what's going on, Aliya? If you've run into some sort of trouble, you can tell me, you know? I try my best to help. Her genuine concern brings a real smile to my face, and I touch her arm lightly in gratitude. It's nothing like that, Evie, but thank you. It's good to know that you have my back. With one last grateful smile, I leave her table and head towards a quiet corner of the guild hall, wanting to get as far away from the searching eyes of the stranger as possible. I take a sip from my drink slowly, using the opportunity to peek to my left. Yep, he's still staring at me, his brows furrowed as tough he's trying to figure out the world's biggest mystery. I probably shouldn't linger around anymore. Damn it. Lyle is going to be really upset when they hear about how I've messed up. Especially after I promised to try and avoid drawing attention to us too. And in the end, I didn't even learn anything useful at it. I wish I could have asked around more, but I told Lyle I'd only talk to a few friends about it. With a heavy sigh, I down my beer in a gulp and slam the empty glass back onto the table, pushing myself to my feet. Troubled? Mother of... Who the hell are you? Do you have a habit of sneaking up on people? I spin around to stare in anger at the cause of my near-heart attack. But wisst ihr, ich habe gerade versucht, dem Typen eine Stimme zu geben und dann ist mir aufgefallen, ach ja, der spricht ja gar nicht, das sind ja meine Gedanken. Egal. Ich werde wahrscheinlich, wie ihr schon gemerkt habt, nicht viel mit den Stimmen variieren. Ich meine, mir wurde sowieso schon gesagt, dass ich eine sehr monotone Stimme habe und ich habe kein großes Spektrum an verschiedenen Stimmen, wenn ihr versteht, was ich meine. Also ich kann meine Stimme halt nicht sonderlich viel höher oder tiefer machen. Ja, deswegen wird sich wahrscheinlich alles gleich anhören, aber ihr seht ja immer, wer spricht, das steht ja dann da, also von daher hoffe ich mal, dass das so geht. Ich lese den Satz nochmal von vorne. I spin around to stare in anger at the cause of my near heart attack, but I faltered at the sign of stranger from earlier. Warum wird die Musik gerade so mega laut? Tut mir leid, ich muss die gerade nochmal kurz leiser machen. Okay, ich habe es jetzt mal ein bisschen leiser gestellt. Ich hoffe, das reicht so aus. Ja, weil ich habe gerade kaum meine eigene Stimme noch gehört, weil es war gerade echt laut, aber für euch werde ich das dann wahrscheinlich leiser stellen. Ja, genau. Also der Fremde. It's him, the weird guy who probably overheard what I was saying to Iria. Ja, wer denn sonst? Du hast dich kaum bewegt seitdem, soweit ich das mitbekommen habe, aber okay. What does he want? My stomach begins to tie itself into knots, and instinctively take a step back, my back bumping into the corner of the table. His gaze starts to my back, pressed up against the table, and his face transformed into a friendly, reassuring smile that, strangely enough, makes me relax a bit. I'm sorry, have I startled you? My name is Kylan. It's a pleasure to meet you. Eyeing him with suspicion, I can only manage to curt nod and terse answer. Aliya, nice to meet you. Aliya, I think I've heard that name before. He tilts his head, his brows furrowing in concentration as he thinks. Oh, I know who you are. You're one of the warriors in the front lines of the... What's the name of the battle again? That raid on the raid's nest a couple years back. You were awarded a medal of bravery for your heroic acts, weren't you? Despite myself, I can't help but return... Mann, jetzt habe ich schon wieder in seiner Stimme gelesen. Ihr hört wahrscheinlich eh keinen Unterschied, aber ja, ich versuche gerade ihm eine Stimme zu geben und verkack's einfach komplett. Despite myself, I can't help but return his smile, standing just a little straighter. Yeah, I was. I'm surprised you remember that. I just have a good memory, and I like to keep up with the news about the vassals. I used to be one, you see, before I retired a few years back. Retired? My eyebrow raising, I sweep my gaze over his figure. He looks barely older than me. How can he be retired already? Catching my eyes, Kylan's smile grows and he taps his left toe with one finger. Injured in battle, never quite recovered the same. Oh, I see. Wave of sympathy rushes over me. Just the thought of having to give up my dream of being a vassal for the country, protecting the people with my sword. Were the medics unable to heal the injury? I hear they can perform some pretty miraculous feats with their healing magic. Kylan shakes his head slowly with a smile tying with sadness. Poison fangs saved my life by purifying the poison, but can't fix the damaged muscles in my shoulder. Okay, und mit dieser neuen Person, die wir jetzt kennengelernt haben, die möglicherweise jetzt eine Stimme bekommen habt, wenn ihr da irgendeinen Unterschied hört, beende ich mal diese Folge. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Ich bin gespannt, wie es weitergeht und wohin sich das ganze Spiel noch entwickeln wird, weil ich, wie gesagt, auch komplett blind spiele, also keine Ahnung habe, was noch kommen mag, wie auch immer. Und ja, ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Bis dann und tschüss!